Hi guys! Welcome to a new episode of Eerified. This is where the place we talk about everything supernatural. And today I have a very special guest. He is my dance teammate and he's also a full-time established, well-trained dancer, Adrian!
Hello, hi everyone.
Okay, guys, he is a little bit shy today, so if he appears to be shy, please leave some comment on the comment section and cheer him up, okay?
Yeah, first time being on camera, so it's a bit,
Really, first timer?
Yeah, sort of like a podcast thing, so it's a bit like a first and new experience. Yeah.
It's okay, just take it as talking to me at home, something like that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the reason why I have Adrian here today, because I guess technically he is the first guest of mine that actually can see things, because he kind of have like the third eye, like a special ability,
Sort
right?
of, yeah.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for coming, because he has a lot of classes going on later, so we need to do this quick and fast. No, just kidding. Okay, so before I start, I need to ask you a question. I ask this to most of my guests. Do you believe in supernatural?
Of course, because this is like, how to say? For me, I believe in like the afterlife and all that, so of course anything that's supernatural, like even just talking about like ghosts or even like monsters or anything, like these things are all, I believe in it. I feel like it's all real.
Okay, but is it because of family, like influenced by family, or is it your family is like religious or superstitious or anything?
Not really. It's sort of more like my own thing. Like, the fear of the unknown. Like usually these things are like supernatural is considered under like the unknown things that we are not really sure about. So, yeah.
I understand. Okay. Anyways, today's content is going to be a little bit different compared to last time, the previous one, because previously it's more like us talking, telling stories. But today because he has a different ability. So today we are really more into like talking about, dive deep into his life, how it all started and what are his experiences and all.
That's putting a lot of pressure on me.
Hey, no, don't.
To make the episode good now, right?
No, don't be. Just take it as a normal. It's really like just talking to me at home. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Okay. So are you ready?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you. When exactly? Okay. First thing first. You are able to see the unknowns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So when did it happen and how did it happen? At what age?
How did it happen? I sort of knew when this was a case with my own family. When I knew I could see it, like all these kind of things, was when one day my mom just told me, "Why were you like pointing at the ceiling and just telling me that, Ma, why is that lady over there, just on that ceiling?" Yeah, so this was like a sort of a experience that I had, because I don't know all of these things. Because to me, it's like, if I see extra people in the houses and all that, sometimes I'm like, maybe these are like friends of the family visiting and all that. So I'm not really sure of who these people are. I just assume all the time that, oh, it's my dad's friend or it's my mom's friend, they're coming to visit.
But do you remember the moment when you say that you saw who this lady at the ceiling?
No, I do not remember cases like this. It's just my mom telling me out of nowhere. Like, sometimes she'll just tell me, who's this lady on the ceiling? Who's this guy like under the staircase? And then, so there's a lot of these kind of situations in my family where my mom would just tell me, you do stuff like this. And then,
I mean, it's funny because you said that you thought they were these things were your father's friends, and then your father's friends is on the ceiling, and then your father's friend is under the staircase or something. Okay, so that was the first moment that you know that you can actually see things, right?
Yeah, when my mom mentioned all of these things, that's when I knew like, oh, maybe I can see different things in people.
Then what about when is the time when you really have conscious that you're actually able to see all these things? Like, that you are seeing things. Around what age, or
Around what age, like the conscious one?
Yeah.
Sort of like when I was around it's quite recent as well because I'm 25 now. It's sort of like when I was in secondary school, when I was Form 6. So there was a lot of movement because our school used to be it's a school in Ipoh. I don't know if I can name drop the school. So yeah, for safety, keep it private. But then it used to be an execution ground and the office for the Japanese soldiers back then.
There's a lot of all this kind of mythological from school, but it's actually real.
Yeah, it's actually real and it's verified. And there's the plaque in the school as well that mentions it right outside the office.
Actually I don't understand why would people build a school on top of all these things. Okay, but never mind. That's another. It can be another debate. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So it was like a lot of the cases, a lot of times where our school starts very early, and then like usually we'll go early to school and then we'll hang around, and then it's like usually school starts at 7, so people will come at like 6:30 together for perhimpunan and everything.
So early. Okay.
Yeah. And then usually I will reach earlier, and then I'll just hang around and walk around the school. So there's a lot of cases where I see people at school, but these are not students. These are like adults walking around, and it's like, who are these people? They're not staffs of the school, but they are not like students as well, so who are they? And there was much more a specific case where we were walking around, and then this happened with a group of friends. So we were walking around, and then there's a church in the school. Yeah, there's a church at the top level of the school, and we were just playing around. All of a sudden we saw like, because we used to have like these fathers, these pastors in school, and that was sort of like the last pastor in the school.
Okay.
Yeah, most of them either retired or they passed away. So one day we were just playing around the school early hours, and then we saw him, and then we like greeted him. And when our friends walked closer, they realized he was looking down like this at a book, sort of like he was looking at a book. So we were like looking at him from the back, but most of us realized that he doesn't have a head.
Wait, but that means you and your friends actually saw
that was
him.
all. This instance was all of us with our friends.
Oh my god. Okay, then what do you guys? How do you guys react to that?
Of course we ran. That was the first reaction. Oh. Turn and run.
but do you guys like scream or you're just like y'all just have the like both y'all have consensus among each other that okay we all should just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
But you all didn't say anything.
No.
Man, okay, we also mentioned that you in the morning you still see a lot of adults walking around. That one is only you who is able to see it?
Yeah, these are the ones that I'm able to see. Because sometimes I'll ask my friend like, hey, you see the uncle over there? Where? Oh, okay. So these are not people that they see. So those are the moments where I'm like, I might be seeing something else.
But how? Okay, because I'm an avid fan of horror podcasts and stories. I always hear, all these supernatural things. They have different kind of like forms and all. But the one that you see, how do they look like?
This is the big question that a lot of people ask me as well, because a lot of people are curious about it. But for me, I'm not really sure how it works as well, because for my assumption is they show you what they want to show you.
This is actually very aligned because like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and every time the podcast will interview like some seafoods like medium like Bomo, and then people who are able to see all these supernatural things. They always say the same thing. They show you what they want to show you. They don't have an exact form. Is that am I right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of times where you can see full body, you can see everything about them, you can see the details like the face, everything, the clothes they're wearing and all. And then there's moments where it's just like literally like you see a black shadow in the corner. Yeah.
But based on your experiences, what are the frequent ones that you see?
Not just normal everyday people. Because if you're walking on the street, there's a lot of them on the street as well. Because like what do you say, they're roaming around. And the sad thing about it is some of them don't know they are dead as well. So they're just roaming around and in their normal clothes going about their daily life. And so that's sort of a sad thing as well. Something. But that's the normal form, the most normal one probably.
But how do they look like? Do they look sad, or do they look ecstatic, like happy, or do they just look normal, without expression and all?
It's very normal. It's like how we are. Like usually when we're outside, when we're just sitting down at the kopitiam eating like that. That's how they are. Like very normal. They're going about their life. It's just that they probably don't know themselves.
Okay, wow. Then have you ever had actual interaction with them? Like you didn't know that they are the dates, but then you actually talk to them and they actually reply you. Is there any instances like that?
Oh, there's a lot. You want the scary ones or you want the like wholesome ones?
I mean, you can share both, you know.
Oh.
You can share both.
Okay.
Maybe you can share with the wholesome one first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the wholesome one is more of a, okay, I'm not sure if this is like an unexpected thing that I just interacted with them, but it's more of my own family story. So this was about my grandfather who passed away, and then I've never been back to my dad's hometown because this was on my father's side. I've never been back to my dad's hometown, and I've never met that grandfather ever since I was a kid. I have met him, but I don't have memory of how he looks like and all that.
Understand.
So it was a week before he passed away, and that week, my uncle did call my dad, and did mention that we should go back and take a look at him because he's like very sick. He can't get off the bed and everything. And then like one day when it was after my exam in school, I went home. It was like around evening, 7 p.m. like that. I was the last to go in the house. I was closing my door, and then I saw this old uncle standing at the gate just waving at me. And I was like, oh, is it like a new neighbor or someone? Let's wave back and all that. And then my mom at the back was like asking me, who are you waving to outside? I'm like, oh, there's this uncle standing there. And then my mom, I'm like, he looks like this. So I just described how he looked like, how old he seemed, and like what was he wearing, all that. Then my dad from the chair on the sofa on the side, he was sitting there. Then for some reason, he just went to took out a photo book and then just showed me. Is this the old man you're talking about? And like, yeah, this is the old uncle I just saw outside at the gate. And he was like, you know this is Akong, right? I'm like, no. And the thing is, he hasn't passed away yet.
He hasn't passed away
yet. So that was the moment that my dad was like, okay, we're gonna book a flight, we're gonna like ask for the, 1 week off from your school, and we're gonna go back to visit him. And in that moment, it was, our uncle told us that he couldn't move. He was bedridden and all that. He can't get up and all. But when we reached there early in the morning, when we went back to Sarawak, Kuching, when we got back to my Akong's house, he was the first one to walk to the door and open it for us. And at that time, no one else was awake, like my uncle, all that. So the moment we saw him, we were like, hey, did they lie to us? Like he's fine, nothing's wrong with him. And then we just sort of like went in, have fun, talk with him, and spend the whole week with him. And the doctor who was supposed to come to check on him like every time, like during that whole week, even told us like the week before he couldn't move, he had no energy, nothing. But now he seems like he's okay. Nothing's wrong with him. He's doing fine. And then we spent 1 week with him, time passed, everything was good. And then the moment we went back, we took the flight approximately 1 week later, we went back. The next morning we got a call, he passed.
Oh my god,
yeah.
He's waiting for you guys.
He was waiting to see all of us for one last time.
Oh my god. Oh man, this is making me want to cry, I don't know why. Wow, okay, this is very wholesome. Wow. Okay, but how old were you that time?
I think I was around like 12 or 13.
Oh my god. Wow. So technically, so the whole week you guys were like, he was fine.
He was fine. He could walk around, he could talk, he could like even jump around with us and all that.
Oh my god. I'm not ready for this. I thought it was gonna be scary.
You wanted a wholesome one.
It's very wholesome. Okay. Then okay. This is okay. And after that, have you like dreamt of him or something?
He did come to greet us one last time. It was the same situation. I was the last one out the door, going into the house. I was closing the door, but instead of like standing outside the gate this time, he was like inside
the house,
in the porch area, like just outside the door. Because I think he couldn't enter the house because we had this like the altar for the gods.
Yeah.
So it was still like, because he's never visited our house in Ipoh before, so he couldn't come in. But he could get closer this time because sort of maybe he had an interaction with us. He knew all of us like more personally already. So then he could like take one step past the boundary. So he was just at the door. And then I could hear him say like, thank you for coming and seeing Akong one last time. Right?
I'm not ready for this.
And then he said, Akong 走了, bye bye. So then he just...
You cannot. Oh my god.
I
You
thought he
see, I'm
was here,
tearing up already.
It was in that moment I thought he was there. He was like, he did come back with us. Oh my god. Then I was like, I wanted to get my dad and my mom like to talk to him. And the moment I was like, 爸，过来，跟在这里. And I was like, the moment I turned, he was like, it's not there.
Oh, guys, I cannot. Because I'm very close with my grandmother. I mean, she also passed away, but that's why when I heard stories like that, I cannot tahan. Okay, wait, my head jammed because of the story. It's so wholesome. Okay, but the move, it's so weird. Okay, the thing is, right, I feel I really believe Adrian actually has the ability, because the thing he says, right, are so aligned with the things I hear, you know. It's like the thing he said about, he couldn't come into the house, but after he has more interaction, he can actually like come closer to the house. It's things I listen on podcasts, like described by the Sifu and stuff like that. So because you guys are a family, but you guys don't really talk, you don't really interact, but then the moment when you interact, the frequency is like closer to each other, so he is actually able to come to greet you guys. And that was the last time you saw your Agong. Okay, so we are done with the wholesome story. So now make me suck my tears back again. Let's go with the scary one.
Okay. There's a lot of scary ones, but personal experiences. But I think I'll start with the most mild one.
Oh,
this
most
was
mild. Okay.
This was an experience I had in my university, because we have this like big experimental theater, and then like below the stage is the dressing rooms. So this is the stage, and then there's 2 doors going down to the dressing room. It's basement level. So there's only like 1 stairs on one side that you can go to.
So this is at your school, is it?
Yes, this is at my university.
I know where the uni is, but anyway.
Yeah. So basically that day was our, the rehearsal for our seniors final year project. So our final year project is where we have to perform on stage, and I was part of the stage crew because I'm the junior, and I'm like learning all these things for them. So I was the sort of like the usher for the dancers. So I have to go down, I have to bring like maybe this dancer is entering from stage right, I have to bring them from stage left to stage right. So I have to go through this side, like that, the underground basement. And this was like the final rehearsal before the show day. And one of our seniors, their performance had this music, right, which was very like eerie, very spooky. It was all like very, like the traditional Malay music and all that, especially if you play at like 12 at night. So it sounds very eerie, very spooky, right? So she was having that rehearsal, that kind of music, like that, ting 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 ting. And then it was like we were like 12 midnight, just still rehearsing at the theater. And then her cue was I had to bring this senior from the left stage to the right stage. So I had to bring her there, and then I had to go back alone through the basement. And our basement had a lot of like these old equipments, like the gendang, all that, the music stuff. So our lecturer did mention before, like there was always a very heavy spiritual pressure there, and advised us like not to go around alone at the basement dressing room level. So this one time was I brought her there, and I had to go back alone, of course. So as I was walking back, I saw this man in like this old, like, this Malay clothing, the baju Melayu, all that, and he was standing there. I was like, okay, he's definitely not human. Not human. Okay, so let's assume he's.
But how do you know he's not human? Maybe it's really just suddenly the uncle decided to wear baju Melayu and just go there.
That's the thing. Yeah, and then from my knowledge is, when you see these kind of things, whether they are hostile towards you or not, it's better not to interact or acknowledge them, because they will know you see them, and sometimes if they are really hostile, they want something from you. Yeah, so my first thought was, let's just walk by and ignore, okay? Because I don't know, it's 12 midnight, we're having this rehearsal with this music on, and it's a very dark hallway that was quite long. I have to walk through this alone. So let's not talk to anyone that suddenly appeared before this.
True.
And as I was walking by him, so it's sort of like we are facing each other now, I'm walking by you, I'm just like putting my head down, walking through, and then all of a sudden he just Adik, kau nampak saya kan? Oh, the moment he tapped me, I just kept walking.
He can tap you? He can touch you?
He touched me. He tapped me on my shoulder. "Adik, kau nampak saya kan?" I did not talk to him. I did not say anything. I just walked forward, and because our hallway was like this and the staircase was like this, we have to turn this way. So when I walked, I turned. I could see from the peripheral he was still staring at me like this.
Oh my god!
I just ran up the staircase and I told my friend, "Bro, the next time I'm going down there, we are going together. I am not walking down there alone."
Then after you brought that senior, you still went back.
That was the return trip. Trip. Yeah.
So you never go back again.
So the next few queues that we had, where we had to travel down alone and all that, I told my friend, "I'm going with you.
So
we are not going alone."
Do you see that uncle?
No.
Oh my god.
That was the one time I saw him.
Wow, this is I don't know. This is the first time I actually hear that the thing can actually. I mean, I cannot it's not a first time, but the fact that he can touch you right in front of you, like, ada you nampak saya ke? This is the first time I heard it, and this is mind blowing. How are you so? How do you manage to keep your calm? How do you react? You're just like, oh, what? Like how?
I walked first, but inside my heart was like, "Help! Send help!"
And you said this is Mao?
This is the
How
mild
is this Mao? How is this Mao?
This was the mild one.
Okay, okay. Before I go to the really the scary one, does this ability affects your daily life? Dating. I know you have a girlfriend. Does it affect your dating life or and stuff like that?
If they don't know beforehand that I can see these kind of things, I think you'll be fine.
But I mean, maybe for example, sometimes maybe you go park top with your girlfriend, then you can see see things, right? Then maybe it suddenly appear beside your here. Then your girlfriend was about to hit, close to him, close to it. Do you will pull her out, or you just subtly ask her, "Hey, can you walk here?" and
Or just walk here.
Oh, you really would do that?
Sometimes.
Okay. Okay, what happened if you didn't ask that person to avoid? Would they how does it work if they bang into each other?
It's sort of just pass by like that.
So it's pass through.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, but does it affect you in any way? Does it bother you, or you're just used to it already?
For me, because I mentioned the case, my mom telling me, "Hey, why you see this auntie on the ceiling?" All that. To me, it's sort of what is it? I grew up with this, and this is a very funny way I use it to describe every time when my friends ask me, even if I see them in my house and all that, it's I assume I have an extra housemate that is not paying the rent.
Do you still stay? Okay, I know you don't stay at a house now. You stay at the house, a shared room, a shared apartment with your friends. Do you actually see things there?
Not in the current one, but the previous apartment that I lived in, yes.
Okay, we'll go to that later. But I want to ask something, because all my crews here, they don't want me to ask you this question, but I still want to ask you this question. How do you feel about this studio?
Actually, the studio is okay. It's always the spaces we are in, right? The small confined spaces, right? That's where people think it is. But then not really. Usually, the place that they will appear more often, right? It's the very dingy places. This is still okay. The studio is still okay because you have the lighting, you have the equipment, everything. And there's always people coming in and out of the place. And it's the parking lots, It's always the parking lots.
What do you feel about the parking lots in our building?
Like I said, the moment I came in here, the parking thing didn't work when it was my turn.
Okay, so maybe they can sense that somebody is coming in, you can. Yeah. Okay, but okay. So means this room is okay, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, it's fine. Okay. Our production crew here it's okay.
It's fine, guys.
It's fine. Okay.
Or am I lying?
You know it, right?
No.
That's good. Okay, so we can work this out peacefully. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Then before okay, I guess we can go to
getting one less worry for everyone.
Yeah, less worry lah. Then we can, since there's nothing here, I guess, then we can go to another story.
Oh my.
Yeah, your selected stories from among so many stories that you have.
The selected ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
the selected ones.
Which one would be more interesting? I mean, I do have a few stories, quite a few stories.
Yeah, just tell us, because it's very rare for us to find somebody that actually can see.
Okay, so maybe I think I'll talk about one of these that happened in my apartment, the previous one. Because the funny thing is, I live with a housemate who, he's sort of like me, but he can't see. So we are like the opposite. He can feel these things when it's around, but he cannot see them physically. I can see them, but I can't really like feel them when they're around. Unless they're like really close proximity and all that, then I can feel them. So it's sort of like having these two types of people staying in the same house. I think it attracts a lot of these things.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the moment where we first, like the first 2 months where we moved in, and then the first experience in the house was, we came home from uni quite late. It was around 8 something, like, because uni usually ends around like 6, right? Everyone ends around like 6, but we came home at like 8 something, and then we were like dead tired because it was a 8 a.m. schedule all the way until 8 at night. So the moment we came in, we were sharing the bathroom. So I asked him, "You wanna go shower first or I shower first?" You go first. I wanna rest.
He asked you to
he
go
wanted
first.
to rest.
Okay.
So then he just laid down on the floor in our living room, and there was like this sofa that you could see under, right? So he's just laying there, and he's like, you go, bro."
Share, you know what's going on.
I go shower, and then the moment I go in, I was like showering and all that very peacefully. Then so you know, like you're washing up and then there's water in your eyes. You just like rub it off and then you like look around sometimes, right? The moment I look, I was like, I see this girl walking past the door.
Wait, you're in the toilet? How do you mean, what past? Means the
So
girl
she
is
was
inside?
inside. She was inside. She walked through the wall, then out the door of the toilet, and I was like, am I seeing things? Am I like, is it like just because I was thinking too much? And then I immediately washed my hair, everything, dried up a bit first. I opened the door. I asked him, "Bro, what were you doing 2 seconds ago?" And I was like, he had this like scared expression. Look at me, bro. I don't know. I closed my eyes. I was feeling, and then I felt someone walking around.
Oh, so you guys had the same, like you all felt the same thing, but just one can see, one cannot see.
I saw her, and he felt the girl.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So the girl was looking at you naked.
I think she was just passing by. That's the thing. But I think she was. This story relates to a few things that happened together in that one.
So you continue.
Yeah, this was the first instance. So he felt the person, and I saw the person. And then the next morning, because like he said, right, he was sitting there and he was facing the direction of the sofa. So that's why it relates. Because he said, the night before there wasn't any pile of water under the sofa. But like the sofa is pushed towards the wall and there's like no water sources nearby. It's in the living room. So why is there suddenly like one small puddle? Like this is the seat and then it's like right below.
Oh, he saw the puddle.
He saw the puddle of water the next morning because we had that time we were still like half online class, half physical class. So we had to take the half online class at home, and we usually like we set up this one laptop in the living room and like the 3 of us housemates would sit there. So it was only me and this other housemate that could see. Then the other one was oblivious to everything.
Okay.
He was the one who received all the info from us. Yeah, but so the next morning we were chilling, like listening to the class, and then suddenly he just laid down. He was like, tired lah, lepak. Then he turned over. He tapped me, bro. We look under. Why is there water underneath? It's like very weird. At first we didn't think anything of this.
It was one day after, right?
That was the next day.
Okay.
Then after that, the scariest thing that happened next week was I came home late from practice because after school I had like these dance practices outside which can go until like 2 to 3 midnight. So I reached home, I think it was around like 2 a.m. like that, and I took the lift up. As I was going out, because the lift has a very weird structure, it's a square. The hall to the place is a square.
Okay.
And then to get to our room, I had to go and turn this way to get to the house. So, of course, there's like this. Okay, this is the square. This is the hallways.
Okay.
So I come out from this lift, I turn here. I cannot see what's coming from here. And all I hear when I step out was like this, you know, like the chains that you tie to your pants, like the fashion chains, just clanking. Clank, clank, clank. Someone was walking. Someone was walking. I was scared. It's 2 a.m. Why is there like metal sounds clanking and all that? And it's like a steady pace of walking. Someone is approaching. Let's just go back. I go back. I open the door. I open the lock. The whole time I'm facing my door. And then I open everything. I close it like this as well. I didn't dare to.
I didn't want to
turn around. Yeah. Because something felt very off that day. Something felt very, very off. So the moment I locked the door, I closed the wooden door, and we have these small people. I looked through, there was this girl just standing there like this, right in front of the door. And the thing is, she was wet. Her hair was wet, her clothes was wet, and she was like sort of like in her uniform. It's a school uniform. Yeah.
Oh my god! Then after that, you just go in.
I just go into my room, and then my friend, the moment I closed the door, my friend opened his room door and he looked at me. Something outside. And I was like, don't talk. Go back to your room.
Wow, what happened if you even walk
Yes,
like
that's the
kind of
thing.
bit slower, man?
What would have happened? I really don't know. Yeah.
Then after that, does it still?
She just stood there the whole time. We both wanted to go back to our room, but then we're like, we were too curious also. We want to know like what will happen. So we just like stood at the door. We looked through the peephole a bit, and then we were like, she's still there. What to do? Cannot do anything, right? Yeah, we just chill.
Just chill.
And then we spent like, I think it was around like 10 minutes like that. My friend got bored and he went back to his room first, but I was still there. Because I could see it, he could feel it only. And then he was like, he's probably gonna stay there a while, right? I go back first. I'm gonna sleep at tomorrow class, okay? I just stand there, look at it, look at it again. After like 10 to 15 minutes, the next time I looked, she walked away already.
She walked away.
She walked away already. And then the next...
She walked or she just fly?
I couldn't see it because it was like the peephole was like very high, so I looked, I could see the body.
But she left lah. Okay,
she left already.
Okay.
And the thing is, what is it? I'm not sure how we got to that conversation, but then sort of like a week later, we did go and ask the guards of that area of the apartment building, and they did mention that there was a few years back there was a girl that did dive from the building into the swimming pool.
Why she choose you?
That's the thing.
Because you're handsome and cute.
No. I don't think that's how it works.
Okay, continue.
Which is sort of like the thing with people like us who can see and sense this kind of thing. I think we sort of attract these things because if they know you can see, it sort of means you have that access and that spirituality to the link to the world. So it's sort of like their gateway to get back, maybe.
Yeah.
Or they just want to harm you, I'm not sure.
Okay, wow. I cannot wait. Oh my god.
It was a very unique way to find out that something happened in that apartment building as well.
Yeah, and the fact you actually go and ask the guy, and it aligns with the description. Okay, did he say that how? Okay, maybe I should ask this, but it's a bit disrespectful to the victim. But was she also wearing a uniform when she passed? Do you know?
We're not sure.
Oh, you're not
that's
sure.
the thing. That's the thing. That's the only thing we know is the guard said that someone did dive off the building into the swimming pool.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Okay, I have a very curious question because I heard of stories of where people, when they know, for Chinese beliefs, right, we believe that if you have a third eye, which is the eye that you can see supernaturals, you can actually find a medium to like do some rituals to close the eye. I want to ask why. I mean, I'm pretty sure your parents also know that you have this ability. Did you ever thought of closing it, or why did you not close it? There must be a reason, right?
For me, I was very used to it. So like when this thing was brought up, I was like, I'm okay with it, nothing much. But my mom thought about it, and she was like sort of saying that maybe you should close it for your own good, because if you can still see these kind of things, it will affect you in the long term or what. And then sometimes when those things know that you can see them, because of course, like, I might be used to it, but sometimes when someone still passes by and it looks a bit weird, I will still be reacting to it, right? So they say, if in that case that one day you're not careful, and then these things know, and then they're coming towards you and they want something from you, that's very harmful to you, right? So why not we go close it? And yes, we did go to the temple, we did ask the medium, but the lady said, this was the word that she told my mom, the exact phrase in Chinese lah. 你的孩子是神带来帮人的，这样你不要去管它 something like that.
I mean, okay, sorry, 帮人还是帮鬼?
That's the thing. So, which is like, I was very confused because it's like, you're saying that I was given the third eye ability to help, but I've not done anything with it.
Yeah,
So I don't really know what she means by that as well. But apparently she said that if I do close it, it's gonna be even more harmful to me.
When was it? When was this? When was this when you guys went to the medium and asked?
Before I came up for uni, which was 2020 around.
So like when you're like 19 like that lah.
19.
Oh, okay. Okay, I have this. I know. I always heard that spirits likes to. This is allegedly like spirits like to seek help from people who can actually see them. Have you ever had experiences like that? Like maybe something came to you actually to seek help to like fulfill their wishes or something. Have you ever had encounters like that?
I think the closest one would be the one like I mentioned, my grandfather's case. I think that was like his call for me to like get the family back together, like sort of like let everyone know that he wants this like last meeting together. But in a more other case, because sometimes for me, I'm used to my mindset going on was if I don't talk to them, they won't talk to me and they won't like bother me or what. So there was a lot of cases where I see these things and they follow me around, but I don't like go and purposely interact with them. So in the end, I end up not knowing what they want as well.
But you say they follow you around, then until which point that they actually suddenly disappear or they left?
That's the thing. That's the very weird thing. Because some of them, they just leave on their own. But some of them do stay a while. They disappear for a while and then they come back.
Oh, so you have seen a similar ghost for more than once?
Yes.
Then what was the? Okay, like you say, spirits come in different forms that on how they want to show you. Have you ever seen like the form which is like scary? I would say. What was the worst you've seen?
The worst one. Okay, this is this relates to my story back in school.
Okay.
Because like I mentioned, my school is the execution ground and the office for the Japanese officers. So of course there was a lot of the beheadings that happened there. So this one time I was locked in my school's toilet because of course I'm the nerd that gets bullied all the time, right? Yeah. So these friends just locked me in the toilet. And then I was like banging on the door, asking for help, asking for someone to come. And then like our school structure is very funny. The classrooms are all here, and then there's this one long, very dark hallway that leads to the toilet. Yeah, so the toilet is very like isolated from all the classrooms. So no matter how loud you scream, no one can hear you. So you just had to wait for someone to go there and open the door.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was asking for people to help.
Oh shit! I mean, wow, bad bullies.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
Don't do that to your friend, guys, or they might encounter something. Yeah. So our toilet is like this very long urinals, and then there's this wall separating the stalls. So the urinals are here, the wall is here, and the stalls are here.
Okay.
And then the door was here, like beside the wall. So I still cannot see like the stalls at the side. So I banged on the door for a while, and I was like, okay, so no one's gonna come. I'm just gonna chill here and see if the teacher notices we're missing. And then like as I'm sitting there on the toilet floor and waiting, right, halfway through I hear the squeak from one of the stalls from all the way at the back. Very softly, and then I can hear people walking. And the moment I turned around, right, it was this lady in a white gown. There was blood running all over the shirt. And the scariest thing wasn't the outfit. It was that her neck here had this big gash wound here, like that, all the way running down, and her head was tilted all this way.
No, the fact that he can talk about it so precisely. You still remember it vividly, technically?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Does it not? Okay, so I'm sorry because I hope I don't experience things like this. But does it bother? It doesn't bother you, is it? Because you're so used to it.
It's sort of like, how to say, like when you get to that point where you used to be scared of these things and you get scared so much by it, you become insensitive to it. Like you're not affected by it anymore. So it's like when I watch horror movies and then this kind of very violent, gory scenes happen, and then people will have like this reaction like, oh, but then I'll be like, oh, and then my friends will ask me, what's wrong with you? You don't feel like anything towards this man? If you've seen the things I've seen, I think you will be.
It's true, guys. Actually, I've known Adrian for some time, and he has always been the calmest guy ever. I don't know, is it because of his ability to see things that make him this way? Like he doesn't get angry. He's like always very soft spoken, very nice, I don't know. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Okay, back to the story. Then when you see the lady, then what happened after that?
Oh, the first reaction was, of course, I looked at her, I screamed, and then I blacked out.
You.
And the thing was, it was a very funny thing because I blacked out, and then I woke up at home.
Oh, man.
I woke up at home. The first thing I did was I woke up, I asked my mom, Ma, why am I home? What happened? How did I get home? And he was like, oh, the school called, and then I went to get you, and it's been 2 weeks.
Huh? Wait, but your parents are not like worried, but 2 weeks you're not awake there.
This was the whole story was basically when I met the ghost, when I saw her, she tried to possess me. And in that moment, I blacked out. There was an out-of-body experience for a second where I woke up in the toilet, I saw the door open, I walked out, I walked back to my class, and I could see my mom in the classroom holding on to me and then telling me in Chinese, 回来了, 回来了. And then, 你是谁? And then the kid, me sitting there, was looking at her and just crying and telling her, no, I don't want to go away.
Wow.
And then I was standing there in the doorway of the classroom looking at myself like that.
You saw your younger self.
No, I saw myself like in that moment.
You saw yourself saying that you don't want to go away.
Because in that moment, the person in my body wasn't me, it was that lady.
So you technically you were asleep for 2 weeks or what?
What I asked my mom was, she said, the moment she came to school, she could tell that it wasn't me, so she like asked for me to like come back and all that first, which I did. I walked back to the class, I looked at her, but then because I think it was sort of like, my mom did go and talk to the medium after that, and then she said like, because the lady, she had a family and all that before she passed away, and then she was like captured and murdered and all that. So she sort of had this like very strong vengeful thing towards like the people and all that, and she wanted a way back into the world to get back to her family, but maybe she didn't know it was like way past the time already, and I was the perfect vessel at that moment. Because I was there, I was weak, I was a small kid, and then it's like I had this ability as well. So it was like a very strong link to the world that she could get back. Like her sort of like her second reincarnation like that. And then she was holding on to my body a lot. Then my mom just at that moment, she took out the Chinese, the talisman, the Fu, and then just tapped my head and then black. And then it was past 2 weeks already. And then she went to ask the medium said, your son is currently fighting with this thing for the control of the body. But I didn't know what's happening. To me, it was just, I blank, I wake up. I blank and I wake up. But to my mom, it was 2 weeks of me just at home. And then sometimes if I'm awake, I'm just staring at the ceiling. If not, I'm sleeping.
So you actually are awake at some point.
But I didn't know. I couldn't feel that. I was only conscious in that moment where I woke up and I talked to my mom.
So you're possessed for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Technically. Wow. Then after that, is everything okay? After you wake up?
I assume it's okay because she left and there was nothing, no update from my mom and all that. But what she said was the medium did, those rice grains and all that.
Yeah.
She said like, go home, make this into like porridge or something, feed it to your son, and then like there's the water that they boil and all that, the holy water that they have, and they say, let your son drink it for like how many times a day like that. And this was the process that she did for 2 weeks and all. So I don't know if it like got rid of the spirit or like she just left on her own.
Wow,
I never found a closure to that story. I just know it was very weird experience that I could suddenly, I could see myself.
Wow. You guys, that's the thing. I don't know, when I hear it sounds so absurd, but the thing that he can explain it so detailed. If you're trying to create a story, right, you won't be able to say in such detail. And he can just say it like that, he doesn't even have to think about it. But I would assume as your mother, being your mother, she will be very concerned. Especially since you're not from KL, you're from Ipoh, so you came to KL to study. Wouldn't she be like very worried that you will have similar experiences again?
Yes, that's why the precaution was way before I came up. That's why she took me to the medium to ask for like closing the third eye. And then when the medium recommended me not to close it, she got like all this like, ask the medium to like draw up like how many talismans. So I have a lot of it in my bag, in my wallet, and then I have an amulet of the Kuan Yin Ma also. So I have a lot of these things on me. So it's like a very precaution thing.
Oh, okay. But I mean, I would assume, I would assume after you came to KL, you're still able to see it, but it was never something so strong again, right? It's just you see it pass by, the things like that. Is it?
Yeah, not as strong as that.
So that means it kind of worked, like. Then do you go back to the medium after that, like to check if everything is okay?
I have not been there personally back to that temple because I spent my past three years like that in KL, just constantly working every day, with practice and all that. So I haven't been back there, but my mom do go to the temple very frequently and talk to the lady a lot. And there was this one instance where she just told my mom that something's gonna happen. Tell your son to be careful.
Okay.
And something did happen, but I'm not sure which exact incident was it. But one of the talisman that she drew up for me started feeling hot in my pocket. And then right after a while, I took it out, I looked at it, there was like a small hole burned into the middle of it. And then that's when I told my mom, I called my mom and asked her, Ma, what happened? Can you go and ask the lady like what happened and all that? Like, why is it so sudden? What is this? And he was like, the talisman blocked something from her harming you.
Okay, guys, I have heard stories of talisman. Okay, for those who are not familiar with Chinese beliefs, we have like the pendant. The pendant. That is like being casted, not spell, but casted some holy power on it. So this is not the first time I'm hearing things like this. It's like the pendant will break if like a strong spirit comes to it, or the amulet will like you said, burn, or the what is it, the calligraphy on the amulet will like go away. So like I said, this is not something that he can create out of nothing. He must have really actually experienced it, that he can say it so precisely, and it kind of baffles my mind, because I never imagined things like that it would actually happen.
A lot of these stories.
Okay, you shared a lot of stories, and unfortunately we are running out of time. I really do hope that one day you are able to come again to share, because I have so much more things to ask you about. Okay, but one last question before we end today's session. When was the most recent encounter?
Oh my. Most recent. Okay. This is at a friend's birthday party.
Is the friend that I know?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Why you tell me
I think you were
later?
invited as well.
Wait.
Were you? I think so. I
Start
think
with
you
J
were-
Last year one Oh my god,
I think you're
okay.
invited as well. But then you didn't come, is it?
No, I did. The one at Setapak, is it?
No, we went to the Airbnb one.
Last year. For the team. Oh man, do they know?
They know. They were there with me when
Okay.
we went back to, because they took like a. Okay, so the whole story is basically we were renting out this big Airbnb for this friend's party, and then there was a sort of like a false second floor and attic. So
Wow, very big,
their idea was, let's go up and explore it. Okay, so then to get to this attic, it's sort of like these ceilings. We had to push away the
Wow,
sort of
legit like
tiles.
American kind lah. Okay.
And then we had to climb up and walk into it. And then it was like, the moment we walk into it, right, it's like a very different area already. It's like wooden stairs, everything. So it's like another floor up. So once we climbed up there, we walked up the floor, and then it opened into a long sort of like lobby area, and then there's like 4 rooms on the side. But somehow, like right in the center of this hallway, right, at the end of the wall, there was this square hole in the center of that wall there, at the end. And then as we walked in, everyone was like, wow, very big and very nice at this place. They were taking stories and everything. Then, I don't know if I can still find that video, but it was from my friend. They were taking a story and they were like looking through the whole thing, scanning through the whole thing. And you could see in this video, I was like staring at the wall. I was like, oh my god, what is there? You could see my expression was really like dead fixed on that wall. Like, And then what was on that wall was, as everyone was like chilling around, playing around, I stared at it for quite long because I couldn't make out what was it. And then as we took like few steps closer, I looked a bit. It was just a hand on the wall like that coming up. And no one else could see it. And that was the moment, and then when it started like twitching and moving back in, that was the moment I turned around, I told everyone, guys, I think we should just go back down. Like, I think we should spend time with everyone, should be better, right? We shouldn't like go here alone and play and all that. Yeah.
Did they get the clue? Because I know your friends know that you have this ability.
Some of them knew. Some of those who didn't, why, what's here? Oh, that was the moment I had to be like, guys, please, come on.
But you still stayed there for one night?
I didn't stay the night. I just left.
Wait, is it the one? Okay, never mind. I think I can ask you later. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for the stories. I really hope we can get Adrian back again for another episode.
Definitely, it was fun to be here as well.
So guys, if you have any personal experiences yourself, please go to eerified official IG and to my personal IG to DM me, okay? Yeah, so anyways, thank you so much, Adrian.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
Experience.
Thank you for coming and see you guys next episode. Bye.
Bye.